In this video, you will come to know about 2 marks question answer from chapter 3 of Jane Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. Question: whom does Mr. Bingley meet in his first visit to the Bennet family? Answer: in his first visit to the Bennet family, Mr. Bingley meets only with Mr. Bennet, as the other family members have gone elsewhere. He has heard a great deal about the beautiful appearance of the Bennet girls, and so his visit may be called fruitless. Next question: whom does Mr. Bingley bring from London for the assembly? Answer is: Mr. Bingley brings 6 guests from London for the assembly. They consist of his 5 sisters and a cousin. Next question: what is an assembly? Answer is: an assembly is a social gathering of the families. It is marked by singing and dancing. Such an assembly is arranged by Mr. Bingley. Next question: who of Mr. Bingley's family members, friends and relatives attend the assembly arranged by Mr. Bingley? Answer is: of Mr. Bingley's family members, friends and relatives, those who attend the assembly arranged by Mr. Bingley are his unmarried sister Miss Bingley, his married sisters Mrs. Hurst, her husband Mr. Hurst, and Mr. Bingley's friends, namely Mr. Darcy. Next question: what is the significance of the assembly arranged by Mr. Bingley? Answer is: in the assembly, Mr. Bingley dances twice with Jane, and it shows his liking for her. Again, Mr. Darcy, out of pride, observed that Elizabeth has no charm at all. Thus, Elizabeth begins to hold the prejudice that Mr. Darcy is a bad human being. Next question: what impression about Mr. Bingley, his sisters, and Mr. Darcy does Mrs. Bennet from the assembly? Answer is: from the assembly, Mrs. Bennet forms the impression that Mr. Bingley is a very friendly person. His sisters are equally charming persons, and Mr. Darcy is a very rude person. Next question: what is Derbyshire? Answer is: a shire is a division of England having a local government. Derbyshire is such a place. Mr. Darcy is said to have a large estate at Derbyshire. Next question: how do Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy differ regarding the appearance of Elizabeth in the assembly? The answer is: in the assembly, Mr. Darcy tells that Elizabeth has not much charm about her, and whatever she has is not inch to tempt him. Mr. Bingley, for his part, tells that Elizabeth is a very pretty girl. How does Mr. Bingley react to the invitation of the Bennet family for dinner? The answer is: to the invitation of the Bennet family for dinner, Mr. Bingley says that he cannot accept the invitation for the time being. He refers to his going to London as the cause of his not accepting the invitation for the time being. Next question: who is Mr. Darcy? How do the girls attending the assembly react to Mr. Darcy? The answer is: Mr. Darcy is a close friend of Mr. Bingley. The girls attending the assembly are greatly attracted to Mr. Darcy, partly of his tall physique and handsome features, but mostly because of his income of £10,000 a year. Next question. With whom does Mr. Bingley dance in the assembly? What does it suggest? Answer is, in the assembly, Mr. Bingley dances with Jane, the eldest of the Bennet sisters. He does so not once but twice. It suggests Mr. Bingley's interest in her. Next question. How is Mr. Bingley described? Answer is, Mr. Bingley is quite young, good looking, and extremely agreeable. He has a pleasant countenance and easy manners. In short, his appearance has the power to captivate one and all. Next question. With whom does Mr. Darcy dance in the assembly? Answer is, Mr. Darcy dances twice in the assembly. He danced once with Mrs. Hurst, the married sister of Mr. Bingley. He dances another time with Miss Bingley, the second sister of Mr. Bingley. Next question. What impression about Mr. Darcy does Mrs. Bennet from the assembly? Answer is, according to Mrs. Bennet, Mr. Darcy is the most agreeable and horrid man who is not at all worth pleasing. She adds that he is so conceited that he cannot be tolerated. Thank you.